everyone, and welcome to Yogalates. My name is Ellie, and I'll be leading you through the 60-minute workout today. We're going to start by warming up our bodies a little bit, then we're going into more Pilates base and ending with a nice stretch to cool down. All you really need is a mat, or if you don't have a mat, you can fold up some towels or blankets, and feel free to get water whenever you're ready. Remember, this is your practice, so take it at your own pace, and let's get started. So coming on to all fours, we're going to start in cat-cow. So inhaling as you bend your back inward, and exhaling as you tuck your navel into the spine and arch your back. One, coming down to neutral spine and bending it back into child's pose. Taking a few deep breaths here, letting that body sink into the mat. Taking your hands to the one side, and bringing them to center, and then to the other side of your mat. Coming to center, coming back up onto all fours, we're going to extend the left arm to the wall, and then your right leg backwards, flexing that to your feet, and then bringing them in and extending. For 2, 3, 4, 5, bringing it down and swapping sides, extending that right arm forward and that left leg backwards, and bringing it in and extending. Using our core to help stabilize. We have 3, 4, and 5. Bringing it back down, tucking those toes, coming in to down dog position, walking out a little bit here, getting a nice stretch through those backs of our legs. Feet to meet our hands, coming into forward fold position. Just hanging here, getting that nice stretch through the backs of our legs. Coming up halfway to a flat back and folding down. And slowly rolling up your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Bring those hands over your head, coming up with a little bit of a back bend if that feels good, and exhaling, folding it forward. Inhaling, rolling it up, coming up with a back bend. Bring your hands down, raising them, bending back, bending to the sides, and folding down. From here, keeping your hands on the ground, stepping that right leg back into a lunge position, coming up, sinking those hips down, putting the right arm on the ground, raising your left arm to the sky and looking up at it. few breaths here. Dropping that down, bringing that left leg back to the edge of your mat and pushing into down dog. Walking those feet up again to our forward fold position. Coming up to standing. Bring those arms above your head, stretching it back and folding forward. Putting those hands on the ground, stepping the left leg back this time. Coming into a lunge, raising your arms and sinking deep into that lunge. Now taking our left hand down, raising your right arm towards the ceiling and looking up at it. A few more breaths here. Putting it down, stepping that right leg back, pushing into down dog one last time. Dropping those knees, pushing back into child's pose. Coming up, we're gonna come onto our backs. So coming down onto your back, bring your heels to meet your fingertips. We're going in to glute bridges. So we're going to slowly roll our hips off the ground, one vertebrae at a time, and then slowly articulating your spine back down. Holding the tension in our glutes the whole time. I'm really focusing on slowly moving those hips up and down. We have one more. And on this one, holding those hips up, raising your arms. We're just going to take them overhead and then pushing them to the ground and back up. When you're pushing them to the ground, imagine that you're trying to move air. Create that tension with your arms. Imagine you're pushing down as hard as you can. Leaving the arms at the top, articulating one vertebrae at a time down, placing those arms on your knees. We're going to do ab curls. So we're here, we're coming up, and we're going back down. So just focusing on that C-shaped spine and extending to a straight back at the top. Remembering to breathe through it. And on this last one, we're just going to stay right here. You can put your hands by your side, and we're doing little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down, readjusting on that mat, bringing our legs to tabletop position, And we're going to just drop the right leg to the ground, bring it up, then drop the left leg to the ground. Making sure that our lower back isn't coming off the mat, or navel's pulled in towards your spine. Doing this nice and slow and controlled. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up, raising your shoulders off the mat. You can have your hands behind your head, and we're just tapping down and then crunching up. Going back, crunch, lower the leg, and crunch it back up. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hugging those knees in, giving yourself a quick break, then extending them back out to tabletop. This time we're going to be rotating, so we're going to bring the right leg down and rotate to the left side, then the left leg down, rotating to the right side. Nice and slow. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees in, giving them a nice hug. We're coming over back onto all fours. Coming down, getting ready to go into a bird dog position. We're going to start with our right arm and our left leg. So straightening that right arm, extending the left leg, and we're just going to tap them down to the ground and back up. Really trying to extend through both those limbs, imagining they're reaching to the other sides of their feet. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up, and we're just bringing them to the sides. And center, out to the side, and center. Finishing up on this side, dropping that down, putting that foot down. Sorry. Coming in to down dog. And coming forward with that right leg to lunge position. From here, we're just going to take our right arm and we're going to bring it through, touching that left knee and up. So bring it under and up, under and up. down, stepping our right foot back into a plank position. You can come down onto your elbows if you'd prefer, and we're just tapping our knees to the ground. Just one at a time. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up onto your hands, pushing back into down dog, and then into a high plank. From here, we're gonna put our left knee down, coming up in, okay. So coming up, extending your right leg, raising your right arm to the ceiling, and we're just gonna tap that left hand to the floor. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Putting that left arm down, extending the right arm over your body. We're crunching in that right leg and extending. Really working our obliques here. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up into that star position and tapping down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planting that left arm down and just taking a nice stretch, opening up that right side body. Now coming back to that tabletop position for the other side. So extending that left arm forward and the right leg back. We're just tapping down and raising. For 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Leaving it here. We're just bringing them to the side and center. Using our core to help stabilize our body. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Planting that backwards, coming in to down dog. Driving that left foot forward this time into our lunge, keeping our right arm on the ground, taking our left arm, touching our right leg, and then back up. So just pulling it through our body, trying to touch that knee. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing it down, planting it on the ground, coming into that plank position. We're just gonna go and roll back into down dog and then roll forward on that plank. So we're rolling through that spine and then back to straight back. Coming into that plank, this time putting our right leg down on the ground, extending that left leg to the side, raising up that left arm, extending that right leg, right arm, and touching it to the ground. Feeling it in the left side of our body. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planting that right arm down, stretching the left arm over our body, and crunching in to meet that left leg. So bring your left elbow to meet your left knee. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Extending it up, coming back, and back into our star poses for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planting that right arm down and just opening up that left side of our body. Bring that arm down, coming in to high plank. You can feel free to drop your knees for this because we're going to go into a push-up. So if you drop your knees, you're just going to be here doing a push-up. If you are in a high plank, you can come back into down dog, roll forward, and then come into a push-up here, and roll back into down dog. So whatever you prefer on your knees, it'll just look like this. So coming up to that high plank, pushing back, rolling forward to push up and back. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping those knees down, coming over onto our backs. Extending that right leg towards the ceiling, grabbing it with our hands, just giving it a nice little pull, stretching that leg out. Lifting our shoulder blades off the ground, bringing that leg even closer to the chest, and we're going to extend that left leg out, post in for 2, and then switch. Remember to draw that navel into your spine, keeping those cores nice and engaged. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time dropping the right leg and pulling that left leg in for a nice stretch. Coming off your shoulders, extending that right leg, pulsing in for 2, and switching. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hugging both knees in, giving yourself a nice little break. we're gonna extend both legs towards the ceiling and go into leg circles. So we're gonna start by dropping them down, opening them up, and raising them together at the top. So we have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now reversing, opening them up, and closing them at the bottom. Only going as low as you can without arching your spine off the mat. Finishing up this last one, and then drawing those knees in. Planting those feet down on the mat, trying to get your heels in close enough that they brush up against your fingertips. We're going to go into some glute bridges. So we're just going to start by raising and lowering. Squeezing those glutes the whole way, trying not to unload the tension at the bottom. Also keeping that core nice and tight. At the top and doing tiny pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it up at the top, getting those hips as high as you can. And we're just holding it here for 30 seconds. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly rolling those hips down. So from here, we're going to extend our left leg straight. You can also have it bent if that's better for you. So we can have it bent or straightened. We're extending the right leg out, bringing it in, planting it down, and going into a single leg glute bridge. So getting ready, going in 3, 2, 1, extending the right leg, pulling it in, dropping it, and lifting. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can always have your straight leg bent. For 5, 6, 7, and 8. Keeping that out and your left leg up. We're just bringing the right leg in and out. So you're crunching it in and extending it straight. It's already in 4. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Planting it down on the ground, straightening your left leg if it was already bent. We're gonna flex it, lowering it, pointing it raised, and up into a glute bridge. So flexing down, pointing up into a glute bridge. We have 8, 7, yourself a nice squeeze. And we're planting that left leg down, extending or bending the right leg towards the ceiling. We're going to go into that on the other side. So keeping that straight, starting by lifting the left leg off, extending, bringing it in, and raising to a glute bridge. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can bend it if you'd like. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Keeping your right leg bent, extending your left leg, and just crunching it in. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Planting it down, straightening your right leg if it was bent, and we're flexing it as we lower it, pointing as we raise, and going up into a glute bridge. Flexing down, pointing up to glute bridge for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping it straight, grabbing on, coming up off of our shoulders, extending that bottom leg, going into our straight leg switches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For this last 8, you can put your hands behind your head and go to the side for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those both in. Straighten your legs. We're going to come on to the right side of our body for our inner and outer thigh lifts. So starting by straightening your left leg, we're just going to start by raising and lowering it. So raising it up as high as you can. You can place your hand on the ground for more stability. You can also come down on your arm if that's more comfortable for your head. We have 3, 2, 1. Keeping it straight here, doing little circles forward. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reversing the direction for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that leg straight, extending the right leg, and we're just gonna bring the right leg, your bottom leg, to meet the top one. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on this one, I just want to challenge you to hold it here. Bring your arm off the mat for more of a challenge. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only dropping the bottom leg and keeping the top leg raised, doing tiny pulses to the ceiling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it up for 30 seconds. and switching sides. So coming down on the left side now, we're starting by just raising and lowering that right leg. So raising to the ceiling and lowering. Keeping it raised, doing tiny circles forward for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reversing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping it straight, straightening that bottom leg and raising it to meet the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and keeping it raised and just holding here. Using our core, our outer thighs, our inner thighs. And we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping only the bottom leg, flexing the right foot, and little pulses for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just holding it here for 30 seconds. Really pushing and pulling through that leg, extending it as far as you can. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping it down. Coming up, we're going to go into some planks. You can do that on your elbows or on your hands, whatever you prefer. So we're just going to come up and we're just holding a plank here. Making sure our body is in a nice straight line. Your hips aren't too high and they're not too low. Using your core to help stabilize you as we hold this plank here. Drawing that navel into your spine, trying to keep a neutral angle through your neck. From here, we're going to position into a left side plank. So coming up on that left arm, and we're just holding here. And we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center and swapping sides. Going on to that right side plank. And just holding it here. Really squeezing through those obliques, trying to keep your hips raised. And we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down into that center plank, and we're holding it here. Breathing through it. And we have 10, 9, 8, 7, down into child's position. Taking nice deep breaths here. We're moving into our cool down. Allowing those hips to sink back, stretching those arms forward, allowing yourself to sink into the mat. And taking your hands, inching them to the left side of your mat, feeling that stretch in our left side body. Just taking nice, deep, big breaths. And bring them to center. And then inching them to the right side of your mat. Feeling that stretch through the left side. And coming to center. Taking a few more deep breaths here. From here, preparing to go into downward dog, coming up, tucking your toes and pushing through your hips. You can walk it out. Getting a nice stretch through the backs of those legs. From here, taking your left leg in and stepping it forward into a lunge. Letting those hips sink nice and deep. Open, allowing them to open. You can feel free to drop that right leg and sink even further into your stretch. You're taking that left arm, grabbing that right ankle, getting a nice stretch through the front side of our right leg, if that feels good for you. Releasing, and we're gonna push back on our hips, straightening that left leg, and just allowing your body to fold over it. Taking nice, deep breaths, just letting all the tension go. And coming forward, bending that left leg into a half pigeon pose. Allowing those hips to open, getting a nice stretch through that left hip. Yeah, deeper stretch, you can fold over. Just allow your body to open up. tucking that right toe, pushing back into down dog. Getting a nice stretch here. Pushing through your hips, trying to drive them to the ceiling. And then tucking that right leg in and bringing it to the front of the mat, coming into a lunge. And drop that left leg if you'd like. Just pushing those hips towards the mat. If you'd like, you can take your right leg arm and grab your left ankle. Get that nice stretch through the front of your left leg. Slowly releasing that down, pushing back and extending your right leg, allowing your body to fall over it. And coming forward, bending that right leg to our half pigeon pose. Allowing those hips to sink nice and deep. And come over that leg. Breathing deeply. Allowing your breath to nourish those muscles. Coming up from here, just coming down to the facing front of your mat in whatever seated position is most comfortable for you. We're just going to let our arms dangle by our side, do maybe a few shoulder rolls. We're going to stretch out our neck. So starting by taking your right ear to that right shoulder, feeling a nice stretch through the left side. Allowing more space to be created between that left shoulder and left ear with each breath. And coming to center, and bring that left ear to that left shoulder. You may notice one side might be tighter than the other. That's okay. Just allowing your body to release that tension. Bring it to center, then bring that neck forward. Giving yourself a nice stretch through the back. And then to center. We're going to do some neck rolls. So starting, going to the right side. Nice and slow. pausing at any spots that feel extra tight and allowing them to release. Coming to center and going to the left side. To our backs. So coming down, extending both legs, both arms, just giving yourself a nice big stretch, opening up that body. And then swooping your arms around, grabbing those legs in. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. You roll side to side. That feels good. And then extending that left leg and just hugging that right leg in even closer. And then taking it in your right arm and just letting it fall open. Grabbing the outer part of your right foot with your left hand and placing it in your left hip socket, allowing that knee to open and feeling a nice stretch here. And then slowly releasing that right leg down to your mat, shaking those legs out and grabbing that left knee into your chest. Grabbing it in your left right arm, letting it in your hips sway open. Bring it to center, and then taking it in that right arm for a nice twist. Extending that left arm. To center, get one last squeeze, grabbing that outer edge with your right hand and putting it in that right hip socket, letting that hip open up. Okay, nice stretch here, and then slowly releasing that leg down to meet your other leg. Opening up your hands, laying them down by your side, going into Shavasana, closing down your eyelids, and just letting your body rest. Letting your body just become one with the mat. Letting it sink down. Filling up your lungs as much as you can with air. And when you're ready, coming over to that right side and coming up into a seated position. I just want to thank you guys so much for coming to the class today. I hope you guys enjoyed this workout, and I hope to see you next week.